Hi there everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. This is episode 32 and I'm looking forward to bringing you another great pub quiz night online. Here I am at home and we've got 3 quiz rounds coming your way, and we've also got the competition being drawn today to see who's going to win these Big Quiz Night In branded notebooks. You're going to be finding out later on tonight as well how you can buy your own. There's very limited supply available of those, but I will be explaining very soon how you could buy your own if you don't win the draw this evening. And we also have talk of the next competition coming up as well, another little giveaway I'm going to be doing soon. All this and more coming up on the Big Quiz Night In. So we've just gone live now and we're looking for people to join us so far, and people are already joining, which is always great to see people joining early doors. And I'll do my usual very soon. I'll be sharing the link out to everybody so that the world knows that we are now live. I share it all across Facebook, but if you'd like to do the same as well, I would much appreciate it. One of the ways these channels on Facebook grow, and the easiest way for us to grow as a channel, to build this community, is by you, great people, sharing it to like-minded people. So if you can think of anywhere fun to share it, anywhere, any people you'd like to share it with, please do. I would really appreciate it. We do this for charity as well. Up here in the corner you can see Secret Santa 365. That's the charity that we nominate typically for our Thursday quizzes at the moment. We're live on Sundays as well at the same time, and there's another quiz we nominate then. Let me know as well in the comments if you're watching live, and even if you're not, to be honest, what are you drinking? It's a pub quiz night after all. So are you enjoying a beverage this evening as you watch along with the quiz? If there's anybody new watching, let me know again whereabouts you're watching from in the world. I'm just going to share the link out there now. I'm in the comments as well, so start putting your messages in and let's get the conversation going. Very exciting show tonight, as I've been posting about constantly throughout the day across all my social media channels. So that they're on the background there. You can see Twitter, Instagram, Limor. I've been talking about it everywhere. Very exciting times. We're going to be talking about the return to the pub, which is going to be happening a little bit sooner than I thought, but only partially, only part-time, not full-time. And even when I am at the pub, I'm going to be broadcasting here as well. So you will still get to watch along online. We're going to give it a try, but I'll talk about that when we start properly in a few minutes' time. Again, if you are watching a repeat of this, you're going to want to skip ahead about 8 minutes or so, unless you want to listen in to me chatting and welcoming people. That's fine as well, because we won't actually start the first questions until just after 8 o'clock, I imagine. By the time the usual kind of waffle on is out of the way, as I like to call it. So let me just keep on sharing it, get those comments coming in, get sharing the quiz, get it out there so everybody knows the pub quiz is starting right now. 3 different rounds tonight as always, something a bit different tonight. We're doing a history round, which we haven't done in a while. We're going to do a science and nature round at the end, and in the middle of those two, because those two we've done before, we've got a themed round which is author's initials. Author's initials. So that's going to be a round all about authors or famous authors that are known by their name, including their initials. All right, so be thinking of those kind of authors in preparation for that round. That'll be round 2. Right, I think I've shared it out there everywhere now. Let me just check. Yes, and yes. Right, the link's gone. Let's see who's in the comments. And let me see. Oh, I'll tell you what I can see. Do some of those emoji reactions again for me, guys. Tap the... I think there's been an update on Facebook's web version, because I can't see them on my mobile. You know that that's been a problem for ages on Facebook mobile. But as I went back to the page there, I just saw a whole bunch of the emoji bubbles coming up with all the likes and that. Yes, I can see them on here. That hasn't happened in ages. Fantastic. That means I'm basically got everything I'd lost so many quizzes before. That's amazing. All right, I can see it on the web version. I'm a happy guy now, because you know I like seeing those emoji reactions, because you also know how important those are for the Facebook algorithms. Putting these videos in front of more people organically is done and achieved by you liking and commenting on this video, particularly as it's live. That means that the engagements go up, and it means it gets put in front of more people naturally without me having to pay to boost it as an advert or to promote it by paying for a Facebook ad, which, given Facebook ads being in the news so much recently, is not something I'm comfortable with doing at the moment. But let me get to your comments anyway as time works on towards that 8 o'clock start time. Good evening to James, one of my top sharers. Thank you again, mate, for all you do. I really hope you get that top fan badge soon. Really appreciate all the sharing you're doing at the minute. Rachel's here as well. Good evening to you. Hello to Diva. Welcome along, one of my Patreon members. A very warm welcome to all my Patreon members as always. Jason's here from Back in Black. Good evening. Sarah too on the cider tonight. Nice. I shall reveal what I'm drinking in a moment as I just say hello to everybody. Jade's here, Cross Atlantic, that is. Team Cross Atlantic, welcome. Sparkling water for Diva. Sparkling water. All right, well, that's fine. We can't all be drinking on a school night, can we? Evening to Bill. Looks like I'm a lone dog tonight. No other barking dogs. Tony's watching Spurs. Yeah, I was watching them, mate, but it was boring as. So someone's just going to have to let me know if they score. They'll be finishing very, very soon, though, so I imagine Tony will be joining after that, Bill. As long as he's not clinically depressed after the result, because it was 0-0, but it was one of the most dullest matches again. Anyway, enough about my boring football team. Right, James says, drinking Diet Coke, just made a nice chicken tikka curry. Lovely. We had burritos this evening. Yeah, Chrissy made burritos. They were delicious. Absolutely delicious. Para Nursa in the house. Hello to Anna. Welcome to you both. So glad you could join us. We're going to be talking about a little something that Anna's been messaging me about later on as well, which is fun, something new and exciting to look forward to, a little giveaway maybe. Yes, James, you're welcome. Edward says, morning, Chris. Yeah, good morning, as always, morning. Water for me, Anna says, after Lush Pilates class. Nice, okay. Courtney's here, everybody. She's from Secret Santa. She's on the start at all. So everybody give some love to Courtney Hughes in the comments there. And Rachel says hello from Alfie as well. Hello to Alfie. Rock on, little dude. Welcome along to the quiz. Right, so 3 minutes to go before 8 o'clock. Numbers are building, which is always great to see. Let me reveal what I'm drinking then, because I do need a drink of it now. I'm on the vino tonight. So this is a Australian Cab Sav, isn't it? 16 Little Black Pigs, one of our favourites. We can get this. You get this from Virgin Wines, by the way. But anything called the Black Pig or 16 Little Black Pigs is always amazing. Red or white. Red or white, but we love it. Yeah, good stuff. Liz Mason is here. Good evening to you. Nicholas says, evening all. Let's get quizzical. I have arrived. Yes, lots of exciting things to talk about. I'm going to wait until 8 o'clock, though, until I officially break into that. But, of course, we will be having my daughter Abby joining us very soon. Not just yet, but very soon, because she's going to be doing the draw. She's a little bit upset that this might be the last time she's doing it, though. I'm going to get her involved in more stuff. I am going to get her involved in more stuff. I've got plans. I haven't told her yet, but I've got plans. But she's a bit upset that she's not going to be doing any more draws, because we're not doing the pizza draw anymore, because the pub's open, so they're not giving away any more free pizzas in a takeaway. Although I did have mine today. I don't know if Tad's watching yet, but Tad kindly, when he won the other week, donated it to myself and my family, and we had it today, and of course it was delicious. We loved it. We had the Elvis pizza, which is basically the ingredients you'd find in a nice cheeseburger spread over a pizza. Yeah, it was amazing. Complete with a burger sauce as well. Very tasty. So thank you to Tad. I'll say thank you again when you do join if you're not already watching. Emma says, hello, I'm on the white wine and lemonade today. Eric from Blackpool Bar Stewards have arrived. Yes. Abby's just waiting in the wings there to come on, so I'll let her know when's the right time. We're up to 44 people now. Going to give it another couple of minutes before we properly start this draw. There's going to be 2 people drawn this time, because we've got 2 notebooks to give away, okay? So 1 for each, and then as soon as I've done that, I'm going to start talking about how you could how you could buy your very own notebook. So if you don't win in the draw, fear not. There is going to be a way now coming this month, how you could buy your own, okay? Because I know some of you have been asking for it, and I'm going to get into that in a minute anyway. So Amy says, Phoenix is here having brunch after a lovely lie-in, trying to recover from COVID fatigue. You haven't actually had it, I hope. At noon, it's 39 degrees centigrade and expected high of 42. Goodness me, who would live in a desert, eh? Anna says, pizza and burritos, lovely. Can I come for tea at yours, please? Yeah, I know. I feel like we need to do a load of the exercises you were talking about there, Anna, as well as a result of all that, but it was worth it. We did share one pizza, by the way. We didn't all have a pizza each or anything like that, and then burritos for dinner, but hey, what can you do? Got to keep morale high, and sometimes a bit of junk food is a good way of doing it. And I don't think burritos should count as junk food, actually. It's, you know, it's rice, it's mince, it's all, you know, standard kind of dinner stuff, really. That's at least my excuse. Right, who else are we saying hello to then before we bring Abby in? Because 8 o'clock's just arrived, and we're up to, oh, we've gone down to 38. That's disappointing. I thought we'd have more people for the start. Okay. It's up to 90 plus 13 minutes now on the football. Oh my goodness me. Is it still 0-0? Yeah, Anna, we had to share it because it was a lunchtime thing and we only got one for free and I wasn't going to buy more than one knowing we had burritos for dinner. So, but yes, Diva, to notebooks. Yes, they are so good. Let me give you a bit of a closer one. So you've got this on the front. You've got my catchphrase thing at the bottom there. See you same time next time for more of the same fun. I say something like that at the end of every episode, and I've done that in all the live quizzes as well in person. The @ handle there, and then the title, and then my logo avatar thing there. And then on the back, you've got basically that, so you can read it there on the back cover. And then it's all just normal lined paper on the inside. A couple of you have already got it. A couple of you are Patreons at the highest levels. When you join to either hire me or to get me to create a quiz for you to use privately and not publicly share it. If you join at either of those top 2 tiers, you now get one of those included the first time you go up to that level. And then, of course, once you've had that reward, you drop down to whatever tier you want regularly after that. You're not expected to stay at that every month, of course not. Real friends have arrived. Okay, I want to get up to 50 and then we'll make a start. We keep hovering around that. Might have to just cut our losses and go with it. Half a dozen are in the house. Amy says, I've not been sick. I've not been sick, just the malaise of isolation and stress. Oh, okay. Yes, I feel you there. No worries. I'm glad you're okay, though. Half a dozen are in the house. Bill says I had veg curry that came in a plastic sachet and lasts till Christmas. It was gusting. I'm sure you mean disgusting. Helen says, hey, Treebeard. Hello to you, Helen. Welcome along. Right, let's make a start then. Let's bring in Abby. Come through, my darling. We're going to do the draw then now for whoever's winning. These 2 at the back there. Here's Abby. Everybody say hello. Give some love to Abby. She's wearing her new top today. She's very excited. Looks beautiful.
Special top.
Special top with frills. Yep, we love it. So she's going to be drawing 2 names out. You're both going to win one of those, and I will post it out to you as soon as possible. So we've got 32 names, I think, in the hat. The draw closed at midnight Wednesday night. So if you liked the post after that, you're probably not in the hat. Although I did print the names off a little bit after that, in fairness. Maybe this afternoon. But I think some of you may have missed out, unfortunately. But, you know, that's why I set a deadline. So keep an eye out for that in the future.
I've got special princess hair today because it's last...
Oh, look at that. Oh, did Mummy do that for you earlier?
She changed the ponytail.
She changed it. I put her in a ponytail and you got it changed.
Mummy took it out and was going to put it back up in a ponytail, but I said, oh, if you're taking it out, please give me princess hair because it's the last night in a while. Good.
All right, well, let's draw 2 names, shall we? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, 1 name at a time.
1 name at a time. Should I open them 1 name?
Yes, we'll open them 1 name at a time.
Okay, Battleship, you are not it. Okay, so the first one's going to be this one.
Okay, all right. Come back into the shop then, because you just walked out of it. Okay. Who's the first winner? Say it.
Maddie Cat Lady.
Maddie Cat Lady. Maddie, you've won yourself a notebook. I don't know if you're watching yet. You haven't made yourself known in the comments, at least not that I've seen. But that's lovely. Maddie has won the first one. Let me keep hold of that one. Okay, so I'm going to need you to send me your address, as with whoever wins this next one. Let's shake them all up and give them a mix around again for you. Here we go. Hi, Chris and Abby. Pandemic at the Disco are here. Hello to you, Neil, and to your team. Here we go, Abby. Who's won the next one? Let's see.
Unfold it once.
Oh,
Unfold it again.
the tension.
Unfold it again. Vernia Mora's Burgess.
Vernia's won it. She's won the second one. Well done, Vernia. There we go. From half a dozen. Lovely. So there you go. That's the first two that have been won as a competition here. And so I'm really happy. I hope you guys are too. Please do send me your addresses. I think I remember where Vernia lives. I have been around before because we used to work together, so I've known her for a long time now. But please do send me your address anyway. Maybe you've moved, I don't know. But please do, just in case. Private message me that, please. And that's it for now. But I'm going to call you back in for another quiz next week, I think. Because even if we haven't got another competition, I've got something else for you to do.
Okay.
Yeah?
Will it be another draw or something? Or
I'll let you know what it is. It's a surprise.
Okay.
Okay, alright. Give me a cuddle. Love you, darling. Alright. Go be with mummy now. See you later.
Virtual hug.
Oh.
Virtual hug to you all.
There you go. There we go, guys. Send some love to Abby and I'll read her the comments later on, as always. Yeah. Wild applause. What's that, darling? Oh, Vernia's online now. Yay. There you go. She's just seen. She says, thank you, Abby. There you go. She sees it. Well done. Okay. I'm going to leave you to it now, yeah?
Virtual hugs and kisses. I will miss you all.
You'll be back next week.
I know.
You will.
But I will miss you all.
All right.
Okay.
Let me crack on now then, my darling. I hate to say
Bye.
goodbye, but gotta move on.
Chugga chugga
She
choo
has,
choo.
she has
It's like
no
a train.
idea
It's like a train.
what I've got planned for next week. Just you wait and see.
Chugga chugga choo choo.
All right. So, yeah, shut the door, please, darling. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, let me tell you now, before we start the first round, first thing I'm going to mention is how you could now buy your own, all right? Because 2 people have just won them. That's fantastic. I'll send them out. I got an email literally as I was thinking about how I could possibly do this and send them to you, because it is quite expensive to get them printed off and posted to me, let alone then resent to you, because obviously they're custom made in very small amounts. I got an email saying, how would you like, before it's announced on the website, 33% off anything from our website for being a new customer? I said, yes, please. And I went online and worked out how much it would cost me to order a small batch in that would still be worthwhile me doing, making a tiny bit of profit, so it's actually worthwhile me doing, and being able to forward them on to you, including delivery, and keeping the price down as low as I can. So I have got 10 more coming, okay? They'll be with me on the 22nd of July. So it's only a couple of weeks away. And all you need to do if you want your own is message me and be the first of 10 people to do so. And all you need to do then, once I've confirmed you're one of the first 10, is PayPal me how much it's going to cost, all right? And that's going to be £8 to deliver it to you in the mainland UK. If you want one and you live further abroad, you're going to have to help me out and cover the cost of the international shipping charges, which I think is fair enough. But I'm not going to make any profit on that. I'm just going to charge you what it costs me to send it. So I don't mind who applies for them, who wants them, but £8 delivered mainland UK is probably the best price I'm ever going to get, unless I suddenly become a millionaire and just buy a load in, and it'll be dirt cheap then. So let me know what you think in the comments, if that's something you're interested in. And then if you are one of the people that really does want to do that, then we can start that process going now. I've created a BigQuizNightIn PayPal me link. So it's dead easy for you to do, to send me money via PayPal. It's £8 and I will deliver it to you or post it out to you, depending on where you live, as soon as I get them in. And okay, that'll be July 22nd is the delivery date at the moment. So what do you think? I've only got 10. Is there enough people watching right now that might be interested in that? Let me know in the comments. Let me just check what other news I've got for you, because I'm going to think we're just going to start with the first round, to be honest, and then we'll come back to the quiz. Because I have hinted that we're going to talk about the pub and returning to the pub. But I think we'll get on with the first round and I'll come back to that. I'm going to talk at the very end of the quiz about the specific details of being back in the pub. So for those who want to come to the quiz at the pub during this kind of almost out of lockdown period, you're going to need to stick around at the end so we can talk about it and we can say goodbye to everybody that would never realistically do that. All right? I think that's fair, because I don't want to bore everybody with that if you're not interested and don't live anywhere near the pub. We'll do that right at the end, but I'll talk about halfway through about, in general, when I'm going back to the pub and how. Bill says, I'll have one, Chris. I'll start saving now. Yes, please do. Keith says, I'll send one to Amy. Oh, that's very kind of you. And Andy says, I would definitely be interested, Chris. Please put me down. All right. Thank you. Do let me know in the comments here. But to confirm you actually do want one, you need to private message me because I can't keep track of it all in the comments. I'm just going to read and acknowledge them here, okay? Private message me or the Big Quiz Night In page, and then I will confirm to you if you are one of the first 10 people. You can do that now if you want on another device. Don't go away. But the first 10 people to do that will have one. If they sell really quickly, then I'll keep an eye out and maybe get another batch in the next time I get a big discount. Right. You missed the draw, Tegan. Who won? Maddie, Cat Lady, and Vernia from Half a Dozen. They won. I've just said how you can buy your own ones as well. I'll repeat about it later. I want to crack on with the first round though, so don't worry, we'll come back to it. You're here for a quiz as well, not just me waffling on, but I know some of you like that. The first round is going to be a history trivia round. And when I was reading through this, I thought, have we done some of these questions before? We might have done. But it's still a good round, and there's definitely some in here that are new. So I don't know. I wanted to do history because I haven't done it in a long time, and I know there's a lot of you that miss that kind of stuff and appreciate those kind of rounds. So here we go with question number 1 in our history round. Don't write your answers down in the comments. Make a note of them yourselves, however you want to, and then just put the team scores in the comments once we've gone through the answers at the end of each round. Remember, this is just for fun. All right? Yes, some of you have already messaged me. That's great to hear. Thank you so much for that. And I'll be in touch with you all in the order you respond to me. And if everybody else that messages me and misses out, we'll go on a list, a waiting list, and they'll be first in line next time around, okay? So don't worry, you won't be messaging me in vain if you're not in the top 10. If I can justify it, then of course I will get more in. And I love the fact you're all keen on them. Anyway, more on that later. Question number 1 in the history round. In which century was Queen Victoria born? In which century was Queen Victoria born? I hope we're starting relatively easy. Question number 2 for 2 points. Who were the 2 prime ministers of Great Britain during World War II? 1 point for each. Who were the 2 prime ministers of Great Britain during World War II? 1 point for each. Hello from Mags and Alex, by the way. Virtual hugs back to Abby. That's lovely, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I always remind Abby of all the comments that have happened, by the way, following the quiz. I know I said that before, but I like to remind you it's not, even though she's gone, she'll be aware. That's good to see. Yeah, Keith is communicating with Liz about arranging to send one to Amy. That's really great. I'd love to know that one of them's going all the way to Phoenix. Like I said, I don't mind posting it to Phoenix myself, but I just need a bit of help covering the costs. But it's up to you how we do that. Let's just talk about it offline. Question, as in not during the quiz. Question number 3. Which epic poem by John Milton tells the story of the fall of Adam and Eve? Which epic poem by John Milton tells the story of the fall of Adam and Eve? Okay, question number 4 now. Question number 4. Which breed of bird was used to detect dangerous gases in coal mines? Which breed of bird was used to detect dangerous gases in coal mines? Okay, that's good. We're over 60 now, over the 60 mark. Welcome along, stick with us. We're just going through the history round. Plenty more fun stuff to talk about as well throughout the evening. Right, question number 5 now is for 3 points. Question 5 for 3 points. Which authors created the literary characters named Holly Golightly, Jean Valjean, and Holden Caulfield? 3 different authors, 1 point for each. Which authors created the literary characters named Holly Golightly, Jean Valjean, and Holden Caulfield? 1 point for each there. As always, guys, when we get to the end, if you want me to repeat questions, that's fine. So if I go through them quickly, you know I can go back and repeat some. Question number 6 now. Question number 6. What sort of antique is Crown Derby an example of? What sort of antique is Crown Derby an example of? Okay. Question number 7 now for 3 points. The movies called The Deer Hunter, Cold Mountain, and American Sniper were set during which 3 wars? The movies called The Deer Hunter, Cold Mountain, and American Sniper were set during which 3 wars? I'm so chuffed I can see the emojis reactions floating up the side again now, because that was the one thing I was missing when for some reason the Facebook app decided not to show me on my phone anymore. But to see it on the web version now means I can keep up with what's going on. Really cool. Really happy with that. Okay. So yes, please do keep them coming in, because it's always fun to see. It's amazing how many I haven't got. When I look at the stats of all the videos, because I'm sad like that sometimes, you can see the moment I stopped seeing them on my phone, I stopped asking you to do it, and the numbers that I got dropped, and all the statistics across the board started dropping on all my videos. It's amazing how their algorithms work. Annoying as well. As those of you trying to become a top fan will testament to. So yeah, but yeah, I'm just glad I got them back in some way, shape or form. Question number 8 now. Which British king was nicknamed the Merry Monarch? Which British king was nicknamed the Merry Monarch? Okay, thanks, Neil. Yeah, I put my do not disturb on my phone, so I won't be able to see the messages that have come through yet, obviously, because I don't want to be sidetracked on that just yet. But please do message me. Like I said, the first 10 can get themselves a book. If anybody ends up not wanting one as soon as they're available and changes their mind for whatever reason, then the next people in the list, I will keep track of who messaged me at what times, so it'll be fair to everybody. And then anybody that's left over will have to wait till the next batch will come in, whenever that will be. Okay, question number 9 now is for 3 more points. Which of the 7 wonders of the ancient world were in Giza, Babylon, and Rhodes? 1 point for each. Which of the 7 wonders of the ancient world were in Giza, Babylon, and Rhodes? 1 point for each. All right. Question number 10 is another 3-pointer. For question 10, which 3 nations are home to the Inuit people? Which 3 nations are home to the Inuit people? They may only live in specific parts of those nations, but they're still present in 3 different countries. So name those countries for 1 point each. All right, question 11 now. Question number 11. Steve Wright was the real name of which serial killer? Steve Wright was the real name of which serial killer? I'm watching a film over there, Abby and my wife. we're making so much good use of Disney Plus, by the way. I don't know if you guys have been involved in Disney Plus at all, but it is so good. You know me, just making chit chat whilst we're in between questions. Anna says, wrong history, I did Industrial Revolution. Well, you might be okay with one of the... No, you're probably going to struggle then. Dropped out from 8 till 10. Okay, Keith, no worries. We can repeat those in a minute. That's fine. What are they watching? I can't tell yet. I'm curious now. Okay, question number... Where are we? Question 12 now. We will come back to the ones you missed, of course. Question 12. Put these well-known companies into the correct order with the earliest founded first. eBay, Google, Amazon. So it's a recent history question. Put these well-known companies into the correct order with the earliest founded first. eBay, Google, Amazon. Yes, Anna and James both saying Disney Plus is great. It really, really is. Even if you haven't got kids, it's got National Geographic on it. It's got all the Disney movies on it, not just the animated ones as well. Not to mention all the Star Wars and Marvel content, which of course I'm most interested in. And behind the scenes stuff, and oh, so good. Sorry, I do share a house with a herd of elephants, if you heard that. Okay. Question number 13 now. Question 13. By what name are the Parthenon sculptures that are on display at the British Museum better known by? By what name are the Parthenon sculptures which are on display at the British Museum better known by? Yes, Star Wars. I've got my Star Wars t-shirt on again. Look, another one. One of my many Star Wars related clothing. Yep, so good. Question 14 is for another 3 points. This one's about famous composers, okay? Which famous composers wrote Air on a G string? Yes, really. The Hallelujah Chorus and the William Tell Overture. Which famous composers wrote Air on a G string, the Hallelujah Chorus, and the William Tell Overture? 1 point for each. You could just write their surnames down for that, what they're known as after all, right? Don't have to give me the full names, but 1 point for each. There are 3 different composers there. Watching. Not one I've seen. I don't know what they're watching tonight. All right, question 15, your final question for 3 more points. What are the middle names of Margaret H. Thatcher, Winston L. Churchill, and Theresa M. May? That's N for May as well in the middle, by the way, just to make clear, phonetically speaking. M for Mike, if you will, if I'm talking the phonetic alphabet. What are the middle names of Margaret H. Thatcher, Winston L. Churchill, and Theresa M. May? Name those middle names, 1 point for each. Let me know if you want any questions repeated. I know that Keith asked for 8 through till 10, I think. Yes. So let me repeat those first. Any more repeats other than 8, 9, and 10, let me know. Question 8. Which British king was nicknamed the Merry Monarch? For 1 point. Question number 9. Which of the 7 wonders of the ancient world were in Giza, Babylon, and Rhodes? And question 10. Which 3 nations were home to, or are home to, the Inuit people? Okay, and here we go with question 14 then. Which famous composers wrote Air on a G string, the Hallelujah Chorus, and the William Tell Overture? Number 5 for Emma, and then I'll do 15 for Anna. So number 5, which authors created the literary characters named Holly Golightly, Jean Valjean, and Holden Caulfield? So 3 different authors, 1 point for each. And question 15 was, what are the middle names of Margaret H. Thatcher, Winston L. Churchill, and Theresa M. May? Any more repeats, do let me know. If not, we'll go through the answers. I've been asked to do 5 again. All right. I think you may have already heard that, but I'll say 5 again anyway because it's a 3-pointer. Which authors created the literary characters named Holly Golightly, Jean Valjean, and Holden Caulfield? And Paul's asked for the sculpture one. Okay, mate. Which one was that? Oh, here we go. Question 13, that was. By what name are the Parthenon sculptures that were on display at the British Museum better known by? All right, I think that's it for repeats, isn't it? Let's go through the answers then, I think, for that first round. There's a few people I know that are joining after 8:30, so I might just do the answers and then I'll break into the next little bit of news, at least at a high level, and we'll talk more about it later. So, here we go with the answers then. Give yourself 1 point for each. Question 1, in which century was Queen Victoria born? She was born in the 19th century, 1837 to be specific. What red is that, Bill says? It's a Cabernet Sauvignon from Australia called 16 Little Pigs. 16 Black Pigs? 16 Little Pigs. Yeah. It's from Virgin Wine. You won't get it anywhere else, mate. But yeah, they're all good. Black Pig or 16 Little Pigs. Really, really good. Right, so question 1 was the 19th century. She was born in 1837, died in 1901, and at the time she was the longest reigning monarch at the time, of course. Question 2, the 2 prime ministers of Great Britain during World War II was Neville Chamberlain and Winston Churchill. Question 3, the epic poem that John Milton wrote that tells the story of the fall of Adam and Eve was Paradise Lost. Question 4, the bird that was used to detect dangerous gases in coal mines is a canary, or was a canary. Question 5, the 3 authors that created the literary characters, Holly Golightly, Jean Valjean, and Holden Caulfield, were Truman Capote, Victor Hugo, and J.D. Salinger. Question number 6, what sort of antique is Crown Derby an example of? It is porcelain. Question 7, the movies called The Deer Hunter, Cold Mountain, and American Sniper were set during which 3 wars? It is the Vietnam War, the US Civil War, and the Iraq War. Question 8, which British king was nicknamed the Merry Monarch? That was King Charles II. Question number 9 for 3 points. The 3 wonders of the ancient world in Giza, Babylon, and Rhodes: the Great Pyramid, the Hanging Gardens, and Colossus of Rhodes, for 3 points there, 1 point for each. Same again for number 10, 1 point for each here too. Which 3 nations are home to the Inuit people? They live in parts of Canada, Greenland, and they live in Alaska, USA. So USA, Canada, and Greenland, 1 point for each, or Greenland, however you want to say it. Question 11, Steve Wright was the real name of which serial killer? Excuse me. Steve Wright was the Suffolk Strangler. Question 12, to put those 3 companies into the correct order with the earliest founded first. In 1994, Amazon. Then in 1996, it was eBay. And then in 1998, Google. I was in the shop earlier on had my mask on, and you know when you get that little tickle in the back of your throat like I've got now, and you feel like you need to cough, but then you look around and go, oh my goodness, if I cough, they're all going to think I've got COVID and they're going to like run away from me. So I very subtly cleared my throat, and then it seemed to be okay. Anybody else do that? You worry about clearing your throat and coughing in shops when you're in public and stuff. It's like, it's just the clear of my throat. Honestly, I'm perfectly fine. I swear. Oh dear. Okay, question 13. By what name are the Parthenon sculptures that are currently on display in the British Museum better known by? They are the Elgin Marbles, or Elgin Marbles. E-L-G-I-N. The Elgin Marbles. Question 14. The three composers are Johann Sebastian Bach, George Frederick Handel, and Gioacchino Rossini. So Bach, Handel, and Rossini, 1 point for each. And finally, the middle names of Thatcher, Churchill, and May. It is Hilda, Leonard, and Mary. 1 point for each. Let me know if you need me to repeat any of those. Sarah says she gets that all the time, mate. Oh, thank goodness I'm not the only one. I know Chrissy and I talk about it quite a lot. We both feel that way. Yeah. What a world we live in, eh? Let me know how you did then. If you want me to repeat any of the answers, let me know. I'm gladly repeat some of the answers too if you missed any or I went too fast. That's no problem at all. And then we're going to break into some more news before we start round number 2, which will be the author's initials round. So something a bit different, but one for all you book fans out there. Although annoyingly, some of the people I was hoping would be on this quiz who might be interested in these kind of subjects don't appear to be on this quiz, which is just typical, I guess. But hey, I'm sure they could rewatch if they wanted to. Yeah, hay fever as well, June. Yeah, I do get that as well. My wife gets it worse than I do. So yeah, I can imagine. I haven't had it too bad this year, thankfully, but I imagine how bad it could be. Tracy says a shocking 15, and it's out of 30 points as well, Sarah says. Okay. Well, with 15 questions, you're averaging 1 point per question, right? So is it that bad? Nah, it's not that bad. 27 for Cell Marketeers, 22 for Thunderhorse. Sarah says, especially when I'm serving people at work. Oh, Sarah, I can imagine, yeah. You don't want that. Jason says 27 for Back in Black. Mags has asked for number 15 again. So that's Hilda, Leonard, and Mary. 1 point for each. Chloe says 20. Well done to you, Chloe. Oxford Phoenix Collective. Amy needs a pad equals 21. 16 for Diva. Well done, Jacqueline. Paranurse, a shocking 16. Doom Radley's 18. More research needed. 21 for us. Well done, Courtney. Nicola says 26 for Let's Get Quizzical. Liz says 21 points, 21 for the trampoliners. Owen is working tonight, but thought I'd quiz anyway on my own. Managed a fairly respectable 24 for Freddie's Ficcos. Very good, Linda. Well done. And yes, of course you can join, even though Owen's not here. Of course you can. By the way, that's the same for Patreon as well, as Owen's technically a Patreon. If you're available to join the Patreon-only quiz night, you're welcome to join, unless you're both working, in which case that sucks. And unfortunate. Chris, it's out of 30. 22 points for Pandemic at the Disco. 14 for Troubled Minds. 24 for the Inquisitors. 23 for Quizmaster and for Quizster and Mrs. Well done, Andy. And Mrs., I guess. 18 points for Kings and Queens. 22 for the Blackpool Bar Stewards. 22 for Half a Dozen. Massive. And June's got 17 points. Well done. Anna says, when you're examining a patient, it's not good. Oh, don't. Oh, I can't imagine the looks you must get. Oh, so bad. Maddie Cat Lady's here. GeForce 24, and Queen Vic was born in 1819, came to the throne in 1837. That's weird, because I copied that answer directly from the internet. Okay, well, the answer's still valid. That's what I was marking you on. I don't know where I got that from then. She came to... What? Okay. Anyway, Maddie, I don't know if you acknowledged it in the comments, but you've won one of those books. You've won. I don't know if you missed the draw earlier on. You were the first name out of the hat that Abby drew. So PM me your address, please, and I can send it out to you. Okay, that's where I copy and pasted wrong then if she came to the throne in 1837. My apologies. I'm glad you're here. 22 for half a dozen, 17 for June. On my own, 23 points. 17 for Cross Atlantic. Charlie says evening. Sorry I'm late. That's okay. Glad you could make it. We haven't talked about all the big news yet. Don't worry. Inquisitor's got 24 points. Linda says, thank you. I won't be working for 7 weeks after tomorrow. School's out for summer. Oh, brilliant. Well, let's talk let's talk offline how you can join it then in Owen's absence. Okay, because I'd love to still have one of you on the Patreon only quiz night. Liz says, Tar 3 for number 14. Well done. Sarah, could be worse. Could have gotten 12. Okay, let's see. Any more comments of your scores? I think that's about it. Okay, here's the link, everybody. First of all, here's the link for Secret Santa 365 again. I should flick over and message you directly from the page, but I've just sent it as myself again. It goes there automatically, so I have to switch over. If you can afford to do anything to support the quiz, I do ask that you donate to Secret Santa 365. If you could donate, I'd say at least once a month, that would be appreciated. Depending on what quizzes you join, depends on which charity you want to support. But whatever, as long as you can do something each month to support those charities, and at very least, please, if you can't do anything financially, which is totally understandable, especially at this time of year with this pandemic going on, please do share what I do so that other people may join. And that's one of the main reasons the page has grown as much as it has, is through word of mouth, okay? Which in Facebook terms and in online terms means tapping the share button. Liking and commenting is fantastic as well, but sharing is how we get more people truly involved. So thank you. Evening to Chippy. Welcome along, mate. You're just in time for the news and then round number 2. Are Thunderhawks doing terrible as usual? Hashtag standard. They suck. He's talking about his own team, by the way. No, they're doing fine. Don't be silly. They're doing fine. So yes, there's the link again from my official BigQuizNightIn page. So you know it. So we did the draw earlier on. Maddie and Vernia were the winners of the books, but I announced how you could buy one. I've managed to get 10 delivered, or will have 10 delivered to me. 10 more of those notebooks. They're going to cost you, which is the least I could do them for at the moment, £8 a book delivered to mainland UK. If it's beyond that, then you'll have to help me out paying for the delivery beyond that. But £8 mainland UK, I will post it to you. And if you're local, I may even just drop round, if you don't mind, and I'll drop it to your door. Like I said before, it's not like I get out much these days anyway. And so, yeah, if you want to do that, the first 10 people to message me can have them. Everybody else will go on a waiting list in the order you messaged me. You PayPal me to the BigQuizNightIn's PayPal link, which I'll tell you privately what that is. And then that way you can send me money without having to pay any handling fees through other services like, you know, the BuyMeACoffee, for example. That's not a direct tip. They'd take a handling fee for that. So I decided to do PayPal instead. I've set up a BigQuizNightIn link for it. So that's that. Vernia's still dancing around the other side of the room, Ant says. Oh, I'm so glad she's happy. Well, at some point she'll have to come down to the actual quiz and use it there as well so I can see her with it. But when you get them, please do post pictures online and tag me in them. Okay, I'd love to see them. And yeah, it's great. Same if you buy any. Right, so before we move on to round 2, which is the author's initials round, which is something new and different that we haven't done before. Good one if you like your books. I thought I would tell you the story and the plan of going back to the pub for the quiz, but I'm not going to go into detail yet in terms of actually being at the pub. I'll do that at the very end so that those of you who don't live locally can drop off the call if you're not interested. I went to the pub today and I had a walk around, spoke to Jordan who runs the pub, and they would like to start with one test event Thursday next week. So that means that I won't be here, but I will still broadcast live from the pub and see how it goes, okay? So that means that you can still expect a link to be shared to a live video. I might share literally a link to say join here rather than it being a Facebook live video. I haven't decided yet. I will let you know closer to the time what I'm going to do in terms of broadcasting live. If you want to go to the pub on Thursday next week, it's going to be an 8 o'clock start like it is with this video because they can't stay open as late as they used to be able to anymore, okay? So the quiz will still start at 8 o'clock. There'll be a bit less waffle on admittedly, because there'll be people in the pub that perhaps don't know about this live show at all. So there'll be a bit less waffle on, but I'll still be interacting with you as best I can on the video. But I will be in the pub Thursday next week to host the one-off test event to see how it goes. There'll be 3 rounds, one of which will be a picture round. I will share that online on the Facebook page as well, so you can still take part in 2 question rounds and 1 picture round, and you'll hear the answers as part of the broadcast as well. And then everybody else after that that's in the pub will get to play your cards right. I'll explain more about that at the end. That's not something I can really share with those of you online, unfortunately, because the priority will be to have people enjoy the time in the pub and then to leave in good time as well, because they can't stay for too long. So the pub quiz will run from 8 till 10:30. Can't run on later than that. I'm going to try and make it even shorter. Keith says he only plays with waffle. Only plays for the waffle. Yeah, I'm sure you don't. But there will still be Sundays. Sundays is going to carry on here. We're not going back to the pub regularly for a while yet. We're going to build to this slowly. Thursdays will be a test event. If it goes well and we're really happy with how it went, then we will move to the following Thursday and then keep those going. Of course, if things don't work out, then I'll just go back to doing this. It won't stop the Sundays though, because we won't go back to the quiz on the Sundays at the pub until we're really happy with how things are going, and we've worked out how we can make Sunday quiz nights work too, because those are different quizzes again, because teams like to come to both, so I have to do completely different quizzes for both. So that's that. If you want to know more about how it works in the pub and how we're planning on it working with social distancing measures, stick around at the very end of the quiz. I'll take all your questions I can answer then, and I'll give you a lot more detail then as well. Okay, round number 2 then. Let's move on. That's enough waffling for now. Save your questions, please, until the end about that as well, please. Right, so round number 2 then. Author's initials. So the way this round works, every question follows the same format. I'm going to ask you about an author who created a certain character, and then you need to tell me who the author was. All the authors are going to be the kind of authors that have their books released under the names that have initials in it. So you can already, I'm sure, think of a load of authors right now that have initials in their name very popularly. From the first question alone, I'm pretty sure you'll get the gist of this if I haven't explained it well. But there's 15 questions, 15 points available because it's 1 point for each. So it's nice and easy for you, Sarah. Thank you for keeping track as you do always. But you may stand down for this round because it's 1 point for each and there's only 15 questions. So once again, make a note of those answers. Don't put them in the comments, and we'll discuss the answers and the scores afterwards. And I've got to say one more thing. You know, I'll keep going on about this waffling, right? The next t-shirt design I do, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have to tell you, when I find the right design for it, my next like this logo thing that I want to put on merchandise is going to be this, but referencing waffle on somehow. So if any of you are good at drawing or good at this kind of stuff, if you want to help me put that together, I want to get hashtag waffle on and my kind of branding on it, and that's going to be a new kind of merchandise thing I want to do as a secondary design to the main one, because I want it to become a thing, and it certainly seems to be with a lot of you a bit of an in-joke. So I think that'd be really funny, maybe having me posing like that but serving a waffle to you and it says hashtag waffle on underneath. I don't know if it's about you, but that just makes me laugh. I think that's really funny, and it'll be like a little in-joke, and everybody will look at your shirt or whatever it is you get and be like, what's that all about then? And then you'll have to talk about it, right? I think that could be quite funny. It's not just me, is it? I don't know. I'm just always thinking about how I can build this thing out more, and I think that'd be so much fun. But I need to get the design right for it first. Sarah has one. No, Sarah's got a tank top already from the original design, which is that. I haven't done that second design yet, if that's what you meant, Jason. That's just an idea I had yesterday. Okay, question number 1. Which author with initials in her name created Draco Malfoy? You think it should be me surfing on a waffle? Surfing on a waffle? Why? I mean, that'd be silly and hilarious, but why surfing? Where have you got that one from, Tracy? I think you should have a waffle head with glasses and a beard. I love it. Keep the ideas coming. I do want to do different designs, and this is legitimately what I'm thinking of doing. I'm not just making it up. I want to do different designs. Sarah has a waffly good idea. Okay, all right. Love the waffle. Yeah, all right. I'll move on, Bill. Okay, question 2. Which author with initials in his name created Peregrine Took? Which author with initials in his name created Peregrine Took? Oh, June says no, quite humorous. Thank you, June. Yeah, I just need to either put a good design together myself or have somebody very kind donate some of their time to it. If somebody else does design me one and they end up using it or even using it as inspiration, they will get rewarded. Okay, I wouldn't abuse any of your hard work and time for nothing. It should just say waffle, waffle, waffle. Bill says, yeah. Jeff, you're never going to get sprouts trending with me, mate. I have no idea what you're going on about. You know that's an in joke that nobody else gets but your little team, I think. But I appreciate it all the same. And Bill, no, I'm not putting that on a t-shirt either. Question 3. Which author with initials in her name created George and Elizabeth Banks? Which author with initials in her name created George and Elizabeth Banks? Oops, that wasn't meant to be here. I should hope so too, Bill. You can delete that comment, all right? It's all right. It wasn't directed at anybody, I know. Oh dear. Too many different chats going on at once, Bill, eh? Question number 4 now. Question 4. Which author with initials in his name created the Morlocks? Which author with initials in his name created the Morlocks? Yeah, exactly, Jace. He's dropped one there. Didn't mean to do that, did he? As you were. Waffle on. Yeah, quite right, Anna. Yes, we'll talk about, Anna, we'll talk about what we were talking about earlier after this round, just to spread out the waffle on, okay? Even though that's actually quite important as well. It still counts as waffle if it's not a question and an answer in a quiz, I guess. Okay, question number 5 now. Question 5. Which author with initials in his name created Oliver Mellers? Which author with initials in his name created Oliver Mellers? Still haven't worked out what they're watching in there. See you same time next time for more waffle. It's fun, but it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? For more of the same waffle. No, because it's different waffle every week, isn't it? No. Yeah, there's definitely something in it. There's definitely something in it. Hashtag waffle on. I've been including that. I included that in my update in the top fan group today, so you know what waffle on I'm going to be waffling on about. Matt says, "Are there spaceships in these?" What? Are there spaceships in these questions? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Question number 6 now. Question 6. Which author with initials in her name created Anastasia Steele? Which author with initials in her name created Anastasia Steele? Yes, the last name is enough. I mean, I'm not going to know if you only get the last name and not the initials, but you can just use the last name in your guess when you're writing your answers down, because I'm not going to know either way. So that's fine. You don't have to get the initials exactly right. A speech bubble with a waffle emoticon in it. Yeah, that might be the kind of waffle picture I go for. Yeah. And it's got to say hashtag waffle on underneath it as well, or somewhere on it. Or maybe with the emoticon. Yeah, these are all good ideas. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Could do with my sister on this one. She's an English language and English major and a published author many times over. Goodness me, James, why isn't she on the quiz anyway? Spread the word. Your chief sharer. Surely she'll be interested. Keep calm with waffle on. Maybe, maybe. Can we get a waffle iron that has your face engraved on it so people can turn you for breakfast? Wait, what? Can do you for breakfast? A waffle iron with my face on it. A BigQuizNightIn branded waffle iron. Do you know what? You can't have that currently, but what you could do, I could activate the stickers product in the store, which I have got access to if you wanted them. And you could buy the stickers and put it on a waffle iron that you also own. And then you've got your own BigQuizNightIn branded waffle iron. I reckon that's the only way I could do that. But yeah, if you want me to do that, I can activate the stickers in the store and you can buy BigQuizNightIn stickers. I didn't really bother, to be honest. There was so much to launch with anyway, I didn't bother. But if you want stickers, I can put them on. Let me know. If you'll buy them, I'll activate it. I think that's hilarious. Question number 7 now. Which author with initials in his name created Lucy Pavenzi? Which author with initials in his name created Lucy Pavenzi? English language and English literature major. Wow. People can eat me for breakfast. Yeah. So you couldn't get the actual engraving in the waffle, but you could put a sticker on the waffle iron if you wanted. As long as that would be safe and wouldn't melt away, actually. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Don't take my advice on that. I just thought that might be a fire hazard or something stupid. Oh, we have a laugh, eh? Right, question number 8. Which author with initials in his name created Bertie Wooster? Which author with initials in his name created Bertie Wooster? Oh, Keith says it's a 0 from us. Should have read more books, Anna says. The thing is, so many of these are characters that you will know. If you don't know them from the books, you'll have heard of them before anyway, just through popular culture in general. But yeah, knowing the authors of some of these things, yeah, can be tricky. So waffly versatile, Chris. Waffly versatile. Brilliant. That's bird's eye potato waffles, isn't it? That advert. Don't worry if you're rubbish in any quiz round. You know it's just for fun. We have a laugh and I try and mix things up because I know I don't do enough literature questions and there are some people who are going to do well in this round. So Sundays will be different and Thursdays we'll be back at the pub. But you'll get to watch along anyway if you're only an online viewer. I will broadcast it. Apparently the staff Wi-Fi is better than the regular pub Wi-Fi. And that's pretty good anyway most of the time. So should be fine. Should be fine. We'll get there. We'll work it out. Question number 9. Which author with initials in her name created Adam Dalgliesh? Which author with initials in her name created Adam Dalgliesh? All right, question number 10 now. Question 10. Which author with initials in his name created Jon Snow? Which author with initials in his name created Jon Snow? Social waffling. Yeah, absolutely, Bill. I like that. James says, I had a quick flick through a new book today whilst doing some DIY on her new narrowboat. Wow. That's quite exciting. I wouldn't mind going on a narrowboat one day. Going on a narrowboat up and down the Thames. That might be quite fun. Take the kids out for a day out doing that. Easy to socially distance if you're on your own little boat, right? Yeah. All right, your next question. Let's move on. Question 11. Which author with initials in his name created Christopher Robin? Which author with initials in his name created Christopher Robin? You see what I mean about some of these characters? You recognize those characters' names, but who was the author that created them? Many of these have been turned into something in TV and film. Many of them. Possibly all of them, but I don't know all of them myself, so I can't vouch for that right now. Question number 12 now. Which author with initials in her name created Charlotte's Web? Which author with initials in her name created Charlotte's Web? Liz says it's lovely, very relaxing. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet. Yeah, we've walked up and down the river before along the Thames in Abingdon quite a few times over the years, and it always seems like a nice thing to do. Can you make small talk? Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely an idea here somewhere brewing with your, I'm sorry, shaking the camera there, with your ideas and mine combined. Maddie says, loving this round, right up my street. Apologies for lateness tonight, by the way. I missed the first 10 minutes. Oh, that's okay, Maddie. Well, like I said, you did win one of those notebooks. So if you haven't already, after the show, send me, if you don't mind, send me your address and I'll get it posted out to you. Tad's here, Chris. Oh, good. Tad, thank you so much for donating the pizza to me and my family. We had it today. It was delicious. We had the Elvis. It's very good. Check her out on Amazon, Dr. Sally Bailey. Oh, there you go, if you're interested. Thanks for that, James. Interesting little side note there. And Maddie, do you know what? When I picked these rounds tonight, I did have you in mind. So never let us say I don't think of my regular listeners, okay? I do try. Try and mix it up a bit, as you know. Right, question 13. Which author with initials in his name created Father Brown? Which author with initials in his name created Father Brown? Craig says, big hello from Scotland. Hello up in Scotland. Do you know, the more this pandemic goes on, the more you see in the news, the more I kind of wish I lived in Scotland with the family. I really do. I've got family up there. So, you know, I don't think they'll let me in now. I don't think they'd let us over the border. I don't know if you're letting anybody over the border, to be honest, and I wouldn't blame you if you did, but I do love it up there. When this is all over, we're definitely going to holiday up there again, I think. Beautiful place. Thank you very much for the Elvis. Well, thank you very much. Absolutely. Yeah. Maddie says I missed that time actually. Yes, you did. That's why I thought I'd remind you there as well. Yeah, just send me your address in the private message, please. Right, question number, where are we? Question number 14 now. Which author with initials in his name created Anne of Green Gables? Which author with initials in his name created Anne of Green Gables? Yeah, the Elvis pizza I had is basically a cheeseburger on a pizza. So you've got like almost like meatballs kind of broken up on the pizza. You've got a little bit of bacon, you've got obviously cheese. There's a burger sauce which is kind of drizzled around it, and you get some pickles, and yeah, very good. And it's all like proper fresh homemade dough as well, and did get a bit cold coming back home, in fairness. That's what I was worried about, but it was worth it in the end because it was still tasty and the kids loved it too. Right, question 15 and the last question in this round, and then we can talk about some exciting news from Anna's side of things, which is simultaneously unfortunate for her, but will be all right in the end. We'll get there in a minute. Question 15, which author with initials in his name created Holden Caulfield? How much were you paying attention in the last round? Because I'm pretty sure we mentioned him there. I think. Yes, we did. That's purely coincidental when I chose 2 random rounds earlier on this week. But how much were you paying attention? Because it's come up again in this very next round. Which author with initials in his name created Holden Caulfield? Some of you are probably just going to get an easy point there. Right, let me know what repeats you would like, and I'm going to tell you about this other little giveaway we're going to do now. So Anna, very excitedly, ordered from the merch store one of the tank tops, the same one that Sarah's already got, actually. So one of the ladies' tank tops, she ordered it. It was delivered a couple of days ago, was it? And unfortunately, it's a little bit too tight. She got the size she would normally order for normal clothes, and it's just a little bit smaller than expected. So she would rather have it a baggier fit. So would like to get, maybe, I don't know, I imagine you're going to get the next size up, whatever you want to do. But very kindly, Spreadshirt have offered her a full refund, but said you could keep the product because, let's be honest, it's got my branding on it. What are they going to do with it? They can't then resell that, especially with COVID-19. They can't risk anything happening and transport back. I imagine that's why they've done it. So they're going to give her a refund, and presuming that all goes through okay, she then has a spare tank top, which we could then give away here. Exactly how we're going to do that yet, we're not 100% settled on, but we did talk about there being a donation to one of the charities that we nominate for the quiz. So, for example, for Secret Santa. So when we got the confirmation that she has got that refund through, she's going to let me know. And then I'll put some pictures up and post about the fact that we have this ladies' tank top in, tell me the size again, Anna. I think you mentioned it was a 14, the same size as what Sarah ordered, wasn't it? So we'll confirm that in a minute. I'm sure she'll put in the comments. But when it's available, if you would like to make a donation to Secret Santa 365, I think I'll say, because they're the ones that get a little bit less donations compared to Sophia on Sundays. So we'll do that for Secret Santa. If you want to, and you'll bid the most money effectively, give it to Secret Santa 365, and then we'll work out the best way to send it to you because it's at her house obviously at the moment. Okay, so that's something that we'll work out as soon as she's had a refund. If you want to get a women's tank top, BigQuizNightIn branded in black, we've got pictures of it we can share as well once the refund's processed. You can give it to as a gift to somebody, do whatever you want with it. So I imagine there's going to be a small subsection of you that fit the criteria that would want that. But obviously it means you could potentially get it for a lot cheaper than the shop would currently sell it for. So there's a big opportunity there. Oh, Anna, bless you. Anna says, don't worry about the refund, do it anyway. Okay, all right. Well, we'll do it anyway. So if you are interested in that, let me know. Again, send me a private message. I think this will be the best way to do it. If you would like to buy that by donating to charity, then message me. I'll post about it as well, maybe tomorrow. I'll post about it tomorrow morning with the pictures attached. Whoever wants it can message me. Tell me how much you're prepared to bid, and we'll do like a bit of a private kind of auction. I'll message between and say, well, this person wants to bid £10 for it. Do you want to bid more than that? I'll do like a little auction thing, and then once we've got to a point where nobody else wants to bid anymore, that person can have it. They donate to Secret Santa. We'll then get it to you somehow. Okay? So that's cool. Somebody else is going to get a bit of merch, hopefully a little bit cheaper than it would be from the store. So what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments if you're interested. Again, Anna, if you could just confirm the size that it was so people know what they're bidding on. I think you said it was 14. Okay, and questions to be repeated. Okay, let me get to that now. 4, 5, 7 and question 14. And that's it. Neil says, what do you call chickpeas cooked in a waffle maker? Got a whole lot of waffle. I don't know. What do you call chickpeas cooked in a waffle maker? All right, let me get to those repeats now. I've said that. A newbie being a bookworm would be useful one day, Helen says. Okay, so question 4, 5 and 7. 4 was which author with initials in his name created the Morlocks? 5, which author with initials in his name created Oliver Mellers? And 7, which author with initials in his name created Lucy Pervenzi? Question number 14 was, which author created Anne of Green Gables? Which author with initials in his name, created Anne of Green Gables? Emma's asked for 9. Which author with initials in her name created Adam Dalgleish? for waffle. Oh, Neil, that's terrible. Okay. Right, that appears to be it for repeats then. So, I'll go through the answers then, do the team scores, and then we'll move on. Whilst I'm doing that, I will post the link for Secret Santa 365, so you have that again. You guys all know all the good they're doing. Courtney, if you're watching, would you mind putting in the comments anything, any recent developments since last week, anything new that you've been doing or what you were saving money for? Remind people of what you said last week, perhaps. That would be really helpful while I go through the answers here. So please do donate generously to Secret Santa 365. Every day's a giving day, and they help a lot of people out across the Oxfordshire area in particular. Right, question number 1 then. Which author with initials in her name created Draco Malfoy? It was J.K. Rowling. Question 2 for the author that created Peregrine Took. That is J.R.R. Tolkien. It's Lord of the Rings. Question 3, which author with initials in her name created George and Elizabeth Banks? That is P.L. Travers. Question 4, the author that created the Morlocks is H.G. Wells. Question 5, the author that created Oliver Mellers was D.H. Lawrence. Question 6, the author that created Anastasia Steele is E.L. James. Question 7, the author that created Lucy Pevensie was C.S. Lewis. Question 8, the author that created Bertie Wooster was P.G. Wodehouse. It's not spelt Woodhouse, but that's how you pronounce it. Question number 9, which author with initials in her name created Adam Dalgleish? That was P.D. James. Question 10, which author with initials in his name created Jon Snow? That's George R.R. Martin. If you ever watch Game of Thrones, you know all about that. Question 11, the author with the initials, which author created Christopher Robin? Sorry, that's A.A. Milne from Winnie the Pooh, of course. Question 12, the author who created Charlotte's Web was E.B. White. Question 13, the author that created Father Brown was G.K. Chesterton. Question 14, the author who created Anne of Green Gables was L.M. Montgomery. And question 15, as you heard in the last round, Holden Caulfield was created by J.D. Salinger. Let me know if you need any of those repeated, please, guys, and then we shall move on. Let me just check my list of things to say. So a reminder for those of you who've just been joining during that second round, if you didn't win these, Bernia 1-1, Maddie 1-1, I've got 10 more being delivered. I've got a feeling at least 7 people, if not more, have already messaged me. The first 10 people to message me and that are happy to pay £8 for one of these notebooks. I've got 10 being delivered on the 22nd of July. So first come, first serve. Message me privately on Facebook to the group or to myself, to the page, sorry, or to myself directly. And then I'll send you a PayPal link for the BigQuizNightIn. And then you send me £8 and I'll deliver it to you anywhere in mainland UK. Postage out to you or deliver it by hand if you're local. That's fine. And then if anybody beyond that 10 would like a book, once I've got enough that say they're interested and I've got a good deal again to buy them in, I will buy another batch in and you'll be first come, first serve for the next lot I get in. Okay? So yeah, that's one big bit of news that I mentioned at the top of the quiz that you may not have heard. For those who didn't win, there is a way. I've got at least 8 messages now already by the looks of things. So I don't know if they're all about this, but hey. Right, my Wi-Fi is currently playing up, at least on my Chromebook, so bear with me while I go through the scores. Hopefully you can all still hear me fine and see me fine. Helen said, oh no, I've read that comment already. Yeah, my Chromebook's lost its internet, so give me a moment. I can see some of you, and this is still connected fine, so it's just my Chromebook. Okay, so the comments will be a little bit behind for a moment. So I'm going to read what I can and then I'll go back to it. So 9 points for Blackpool Bar Stewards, 14 points for Sale Marketeers, full marks for Thunder Horse, hashtag peaked, absolutely, well done. Anna says a truly desperate 3 out of 15. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be great for us, says Tracy, 8 points. Neil says, currently doing a master's degree, poured maple syrup all over my dissertation. It was 100% waffle. Oh no, what are you on about? No way. Maddie says, GeForce have got themselves 15 points. Whoop whoop. Well done. Oxford and Phoenix Collective and Francis has got 15 points. Well done. Freddie's Ficos minus Owen, 13 points. Very good, Linda. Well done. Mags Casey says, Kings and Queens have got 7 points for this. Alex got a few of these right. He's chuffed. Well done. Doom Radley's got 14 points. Andrew says 12 for the Trampoliners. 12 for Troubled Minds. Good score. 7 for Diva. Well done. Back in Black, 15 points. Well done. 9 for Liz. More rubbish. Ryan says a poor 7 for Cross Atlantic. 11 for Pandemic at the Disco. Courtney says we got 12. Well done. James says, on my own, a sad 7. Oh, that's okay. They are an icon of the lockdown, Chris. Who's an icon of the lockdown? I missed that. Terrible, 6 points, says June. Barking Dogs have got 10. 14 for Let's Get Quizzical. Liz says, I was rubbish too. Inquisitor's got 14 points. Mike Quinn peaked, exploded. James says, I need to read more bookie wookies. Yes, or audiobooks, mate. That's what I do. Listen to some audiobooks. It's good fun. Half a dozen, only 10, but content. I would be, absolutely. Yes, 3 cheers to my mum in New York State for being available by text. Okay, yeah, roping in somebody else to join your team. That's fine, Amy. No problem. The only thing I don't like is when you Google the answers, because that's obviously cheating. But you can get anybody you want involved by any kind of communications necessary to help you if you wanted to improve your team scores. And then see if they can work out how to join me on Facebook. Then we get another viewer as well. But hey, not everybody's got that. Your books are an icon of the lockdown. The quiz defines the lockdown. Oh, wait, thank you. That's much appreciated. Right, and the next round then is Science and Nature. Science and Nature is the final round of the evening. Amy, phone a friend, exactly. Yeah, if they can do it on if they can do it on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you can certainly do it on this. Half a dozen, only 10 but content. Sorry, I did read that. I just flagged up again. 3 generations of Lobdell Mafucci playing today. Fantastic. That's great. Absolutely really love all this international audience we've been getting as well. Text a friend, WhatsApp a friend, isn't it? That's the other one. Yeah, WhatsApp a friend you could do. Snap, 3 points, Andy says. Terrible. Right, okay. If there's anybody who's brand new to the quiz, another reminder, the subjects change every week, and I'm going to be asking top fans, if you've got a top fan badge or you're in the top fan group, I'm going to be asking you for more suggestions, because I know it's a while since I've been doing that. And I'm also trying to think of how I can incorporate that best into Patreon. If you want to be someone who regularly contributes and supports the quiz, have a look at Patreon, because I've got loads of different things I do in return, loads of rewards you get for supporting me with a monthly small contribution, including getting yourself one of these bad boys included in your Patreon membership. So there's a video I've done all totally separate about Patreon, or you can ask me later. That's fine. Nico is my 17-year-old chiming in from the other room. Excellent. That's great. Right, I'm just going to refresh the comments window I've got open here. All right, you're not going to lose me on the phone, don't worry. But that might mean I'm a little behind on the comments, but I need to get this sorted again because it's really annoying that I can't see the comments properly. All right, let me just expand that, and I think I'm back. So Science and Nature's round number 3. Yes, we are back. Excellent. Right. Okay, and at the end we'll talk about the pub quiz, returning to the pub in more detail. I will share a picture round as well once the live show's finished. Picture round is just a standard one like you've seen before. So lots of different random pictures, 1 point for each unless otherwise stated. So you can work on that afterwards if you wish. Question number 1 then in Science and Nature. Question number 1, which species of elephant can grow the largest? Which species of elephant can grow the largest? That is question number 1. Question number 2, the scientific unit lumen, L-U-M-E-N, is used in the measurement of what? The scientific measurement, or the scientific unit lumen, is used in the measurement of what? That's question number 2. Okay, question number 3 is for 3 points. Valencia, Laxton's Fortune, and Early Glow are varieties of which fruits? 1 point for each. They are varieties of different fruits, okay? So Valencia, Laxton's Fortune, and Early Glow are varieties of which fruits? I will put them in the comments so you can see how they're worded. Not so you can Google the answers, because that would be pointless. Valencia, Laxton's Fortune, and Early Glow are varieties of which fruits? 1 point for each. Okay. Question number 4. How many surfaces does a true Mobius strip have? How many surfaces does a true Mobius strip have? All right, your next question in our Science and Nature round. How is the chaparral cock, a ground cuckoo native of Mexico, better known? How is the chaparral cock, a ground cuckoo native of Mexico, better known? All right, now question number 6 is for 3 points. In which TV programs could you find the following doctors? Dr. Chris Turk, Dr. John Zoidberg, and Dr. Benjamin Franklin Pierce. In which TV programs could you find the following doctors? Dr. Chris Turk, Dr. John Zoidberg, and Dr. Benjamin Franklin Pierce. Tracy says, oh dear, this round doesn't look like it's going to get any better for us. Terrible night. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, you know it's different all the time though. It was bound to happen one week. We'll be back on Sunday and I'm sure you'll do fine. We're only halfway through this round and only just at that. Question number 7 now. Question 7. What is the more commonly used name for decompression sickness? What is the more commonly used name for decompression sickness? Andy says no answers, but the waffle made us happy. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you have fun, as long as you enjoy it. If there's ever a reason that you turn off, I'd love to know, because I wouldn't do it again if I could help it. I'd hate to think I was scaring people away. Or making people not want to rejoin. That would be very sad. Question number 8 now. Question 8 is for 3 more points. The substance called keratin can be found in which 3 parts of the human body? The substance called keratin can be found in which 3 parts of the human body? Okay. Anna says, not sure. Matt put our scores here for round number 2. Was sorting the kids. It was a shocking score, though. I'm not sure he did either. I can't remember now, to be honest, but don't worry. You don't have to share if you don't want to. There's no shame here, though. You know that. Question number 9 now. Question 9. Which scientist came up with the thought experiment where a cat, a flask of poison, and a radioactive source are placed in a sealed box together? Which scientist came up with the thought experiment where a cat, a flask of poison, and a radioactive source are placed in a sealed box together? Question number 10 now. Question 10. Under what name is lizardfish served in an Indian restaurant? Under what name is lizardfish served in an Indian restaurant? Oh, Anna, you got 3 in the last round. Okay. No worries. Question 11 now. Question 11. Which mineral forms the lead in a pencil? Which mineral forms the lead in a pencil? Anna says, don't tell everyone. Once you put it in the comments, everybody can see it, I'm afraid. It's not just me that reads the comments. Everybody sees the comments. Come on. It's too late. By the time you posted it, anybody can see those comments. Please tell me you knew that. Oh dear. That would be so funny though if you didn't realise. No, surely you did. You can see everybody else's comments. All right. Question number 12 now. Question 12. Oh, it cracks me up. Okay, question 12. This is your chemical elements question. And this time it can just be done one way. For regulars, you'll know what I mean by when I say that. And it's a 4-pointer. So which 4 elements spell the word aunties when their chemical symbols are placed next to each other? I'll put it in the comments. Yeah, of course you did. I know. Just suddenly dawned on me. Oh my god, what if you didn't know that? Which 4 elements spell the word aunties when their chemical symbols are placed next to each other? 1 point for each. And there is only the one way to do it. So have a guess at those chemicals. Okay, question number 13. Remember, you will get thinking time at the end and you can ask for repeats. Question 13. What type of creature is Melman in the film Madagascar? Or I guess in the Madagascar franchise, you could say. Which type of creature is Melman from Madagascar? Counts as nature because it's an animal-related question, right? That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Right, your next question then. Question number 14 for 3 points. According to the traditional rhyme, what are little girls made of? According to the traditional rhyme, what are little girls made of? Just one more question in this round then, the last question of the evening. Remember, there's a picture round to share once the live broadcast is finished. We're also going to talk about how the pub quiz will be returning to the pub, if only for a test event to begin with next week after this, once we said our goodbyes and gone through the answers, okay? Right, question number 15, the final question in this round and of the evening. What nationalities are the inventors of the Fahrenheit temperature scale, the Rubik's Cube, and the ballpoint pen? What nationalities are the inventors of the Fahrenheit temperature scale, the Rubik's Cube, and the ballpoint pen? 1 point for each. Name those 3 nationalities, please. Let me know if you need any questions repeated, and then we'll go through the answers. Here's the link again for Secret Santa 365. It's very important we support them during this pandemic in particular. They're helping lots of people, giving them vital supplies. And I'm sure, Courtney, if you haven't done so already, will let you know some other things they're working on in the comments. But they've been supporting elderly residents across the area in particular who are vulnerable or shielding people. They can't go out and buy everything they need to, so they'll deliver gifts to them to get them by, even the simple kind of necessities in life, you know, teas, coffees, bread, anything like that. They'll go out and get for these people that can't go out and get them themselves for whatever reason. Also helping women in refuge as well. Particularly during the pandemic, it's a very difficult time for those people. So if you could donate anything at all towards the running of these quizzes and the time I put towards them every week, first place to do so is to donate to Secret Santa 365 on those links. That's most appreciated. Following on from that, you can support me separately. You've all heard enough of that though from the moment, so we'll leave it at that for now. So let me know if you want any questions repeated. I've not seen any yet. Maybe you just need a bit of thinking time while I waffle on, which is fine. And if nothing comes through, we'll go straight into the answers. But I always say that and then some come in. So I'll give it another few seconds and then we'll go on to it. Even if you just plan on joining the quiz online from now on and you don't live in the area, you might still want to hang around at the end anyway. Here's some repeats coming in. How many points for 14? 14 is for 3 points, because the things that little girls are made of, according to the nursery rhyme, is for 3 different things. So I will give you 1 point for each, even though I'm sure once you've got one, you'll work out the others. Class it as a 3-point question. Thank you, Sarah, for checking that. Question 3 for you, Keith. Valencia, Laxton's Fortune, and Earliglow are varieties of which fruits? Number 10. Question 10 for Sarah Yates, I will do. That is, under what name is lizard fish served in an Indian restaurant? And Maddie's asked for 13 and 15. What type of creature, for question 13, is Melman in the Madagascar films, the animated kids movies, or family movies, I should say, because grown-ups are allowed to enjoy them too. What type of creature is Melman in Madagascar? Question 15, what nationalities are the inventors of Fahrenheit temperature scale, the Rubik's Cube, and the ballpoint pen? June's asked for, is that 1 and 2 you mean there, June, or is that 12 with a space in the middle? I'll do 1 and 2 anyway, okay. Question 1, which species of elephant can grow the largest? And question 2, the scientific unit lumen is used in the measurement of what? Out of 28 then, thank you, Sarah. Last chance for any repeats then. And then we'll move on. But yeah, if you want to stick around anyway and listen to what I've got to say at the end about what the quiz will be like at the pub, If you're not going to be able to join us physically for that, because you may live miles away and you don't normally do that anyway, that's fine. But it might give you some insight into how the quiz will work with you watching along if you stick around at the end. All you really need to know, though, if you are one of those people, I will still be broadcasting live, but it will be like a test, if you will. I'll be live for the whole night that I can be live for. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. You will get 2 question rounds and a picture round still to do, though. Okay? So yeah, I just have to bear with us for this first one so we make sure it's all working fine, at least to begin with. Okay, no more repeats have come in. Here we go with the answers, everybody, for the science and nature round. Question 1, which species of elephant can grow the largest? That is the African elephant. Question 2, the scientific unit lumen is used to measure light. It's measured in lumens. Question 3, Valencia, Laxton, Fortune and Earliglow are varieties of which fruit? So Valencia is an orange, Laxton's is an apple, and Earliglow is a strawberry. Question 4, how many surfaces does a true Mobius strip have? 1. 1 surface. We were looking at pictures of them today, and I was reminded of just how mind-bending they are to look at. Look it up after the quiz if you don't know what I'm on about. If you don't know what a Mobius strip is, look up a true Mobius strip picture, and it just like, what? Yeah. Anyway, question number 4. That's question 4. Question 5. How is the chaparral cock a ground cuckoo native of Mexico better known? It is a roadrunner. Question 6. The 3 doctors, Dr. Chris Turk, Dr. Zoidberg, and Dr. Benjamin Franklin Pierce. Chris Turk is from Scrubs, Dr. Zoidberg is from Futurama, and Dr. Benjamin Franklin Pierce is MASH. So yes, there's a film and a TV series of MASH, but specifically I just asked about TV programs really, just to keep the question simple. But yes, the last one was MASH. All excellent series, by the way. If you've not seen any of those, all very funny, good shows. Question 7. What is the more commonly used name for decompression sickness? It's called the bends. B-E-N-D-S, the bends. Question 8. The substance called keratin can be found in which 3 parts of the human body? It is your hair, nails, and skin. Those are the 3 answers I was looking for there. Question 9. Which scientists came up with the thought experiment where a cat, a flask, and poison... where a cat, a flask of poison, and a radioactive source were placed in a sealed box together? It is Schrodinger's cat, famously referred to as Erwin Schrödinger. Schrödinger? S-C-H-R-O-D-I-N-G-E-R. Schrödinger. Just the surname is fine for that one. Can we have the answers for 1 and 2 again, please? Was laughing at Mike Quinn and missed them. Oh, it's all right, Helen. Yeah, I laugh at him often too. I get that. All right, questions 1 and 2. It's the African elephant and light for number 2. Okay, so question number 10. The lizard fish is served as Bombay duck in an Indian restaurant. Bombay duck. Number 5 was Roadrunner. For David, if that's what you meant by that comment there, I presume. Question 11. The mineral that forms the lead of a pencil is graphite. All right, question 12. The 4 chemical elements in order that spell the word aunties is gold, nitrogen, titanium, and Einsteinium. So that's A-U-N-T-I-E-S. Aunties. Question 13. The type of creature that Melman is in Madagascar is a giraffe. Question 14. Little girls, according to the traditional rhyme, are made of sugar and spice and all things nice. For 3 points. And question 15. The nationalities of the inventors of Fahrenheit temperature scale, the Rubik's Cube and the ballpoint pen. For Fahrenheit it is French. For Rubik's Cube it is Hungarian. And for the biro, the ballpoint pen, it is Polish. So there you go. Tally up your scores then, and let's see how well you did in that last round of the evening And then we'll talk some more about the news of returning to the pub and whatnot before we say our goodbyes. But thank you all as always for joining before you all go, and there will be a picture round shared soon. Might take a little bit longer to share it tonight because I'm sticking around a bit longer to talk to you all about this a bit more, but I'm sure you can appreciate that. And then I'll post the answers, if I remember, I'll post the answers later on this evening. Sometimes it's the next day, so don't wait up for it, but you will get the answers soon after, okay? I like to give you a bit of time without them, so you can have your thinking time and not be tempted to check them. Bill says, t-shirt idea. Chris holding a stack of waffles with the strap line. He's got more waffle than Waitrose, I think you mean. He's got more waffle than Waitrose. Not bad. Not bad, yeah. Keep the ideas coming. I like the idea of me, instead of with the thumbs up that I've got there, holding out my hand and there being like a plate of waffles with melting butter on top of them or something. If I can get a graphic of that, and then something quiz related around it still, you know, something on those lines. I think we're definitely onto something with that. Okay, hang on. Fahrenheit isn't French. Born in Poland, lived in Holland. Neil says. He can be born and live in many different countries, though. The question is, what's his nationality? Fahrenheit was born in Gdansk, Danzig, a predominantly German-speaking country in the Pomeranian voivodeship of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, but lived most of his life in the Dutch Republic. Okay. What was his nationality, though? Where's that come from? Sorry, you know a lot of these questions come from the boss man that I work for. Okay, hard to tell on first glance. Let me look at the points first. It might be that you get a point for that instead. But it's only 1 point, so you know what's 1 point between friends. Paranurse 22 points, 25 for Blackpool Bar Stewards. Kings and Queens have got 23, not as bad as we thought. 22 for Trampoliners, 12 for Diva, well done. 24 for Let's Get Quizzical, 14, Liz says, whoops. 25 for Thunderhorse and Mike Quinn. He's been booted out of the Thunderhorse team. Oh, it's only taken, what, 16 years? Maybe not quite that long for you guys, actually. Freddy's Fickos, still minus Owen, 20 points. Well done, Linda. 13, please. Sorry, I nearly said 13 points for you there, Ant. Let me just bring that up for you. 13 was a giraffe. 15 for June. 23 for Troubled Minds. Doom Radleys have got 20. Sprouts. Jeff, goodness sake. You and your Sprouts. One day you'll have to tell me what you're on about. I'm sure you're just laughing at me now, just at the thought of it. Tracy says 18 points, well done. 27 for Cell Marketeers. Oxford Phoenix Collective, 22 points. Barking Dogs, 18. Back in Black, 25 out of 28. G-Force, 23 points. On My Own, Two Little Ducks, 22. James says, oh, yeah, another 22, bringing up the bingo. It's going to be a sore subject. People aren't going to like when I get into that. Vernia says, Chris, Laszlo Boro is Hungarian, not Polish. Laszlo Biro is Hungarian, not Polish. I said Hungarian, didn't I? Oh, no, I said Polish for Biro. Oh, I'll tell you what, somebody's getting a slap. Let me check that out as well. My apologies, guys. Yeah. Oh, he's lived all over the place, but yes. Okay, Hungarian. Hungarian, not Polish. Okay. Give yourself a point for that then as well. That's fine. So 18 for half a dozen, and I guess that makes it half a dozen. Well, we've got two different scores there for half a dozen, but give yourself a point for that anyway. We need to move on. You type really quickly. Yeah. Well, I've worked at computers all my life, so yes, and I work for a technology company now, so I need to. But yeah, I do touch type very fast if I have to. I don't remember where I got to now, guys. I shouldn't have got sidetracked like that. I'm sorry. Oxford and Phoenix 22 points. Barking Dogs 18. Yes, I've read those. 22 for Inquisitors. 20 says Courtney. Very well done. Good scores all through the evening, I think, really, for Secret Santa team. Well done, guys. Owen's just walked in. Well, he's just in time for all the exciting news we're talking about at the end of the quiz, I guess. Yes, I was touch typing. I do. Yeah, my kids are always amazed when they walk in and see me tapping away at the keyboard, and they're like, "Huh?" And sometimes it's really slow coming up on screen, and I'm like 20 words ahead sometimes, and it's not appeared on screen yet, and I'm like, "Oh, hurry up." 16 for Cross Atlantic, 25 out of 26 depending on Fahrenheit. Look, you give yourself the point for it, mate. Sometimes these things happen. Amy says someone needs a slap about that last one, since the wiki article on Fahrenheit doesn't have him ever living in France. Yeah, I don't know where that's come from, but I'll check. Brill as ever, Liz says, thank you. So stick around in, guys, if you want to. 19 for Barking Dogs. So if you want to hear about the quiz at the pub and a bit more about that, I will still be live anyway, but it'll just be a different background because you'll just get the wall of where I am set up in the pub. But I'm going to get into that now. You're welcome, guys, if you're joining or if you're leaving now. Do take care, and I will see you Sunday for another quiz. I'll probably do another update like this for those who missed it tonight anyway. But stick around now, because I am going to talk about what I can from the update I got from the pub today when I went to visit them and have a walk through of what the quiz will be like. So yes, if you are leaving now though, do send me a goodbye message, so I know that you're off, because I know the numbers have dropped now already and some of you said goodbye. Fab quiz again, despite round 2 and no Industrial Revolution. Okay, Anna, you're a top fan. I will somehow work Industrial Revolution knowledge into the next history type round that I do, if you would like me to. I would. Chippy says, Treebeard, legend. Vernia, yes, don't forget, Maddie and Vernia, if you haven't gone yet, please do let me know your addresses so I can send you those notebooks. I look forward to seeing pictures of you with them, if you don't mind. See you, Nicola. Thank you for joining again, as always. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Matthew, you're welcome, mate. Right, keep those comments coming in. I'm going to talk to you now, for those of you sticking around, about my visit to the pub. So this is the first time I've been to the King's Head and Bell since they reopened again from the lockdown. Oh my god, no, it was years ago, but I know nothing about Kings and Queens. All right, Anna. Matthew did Irish history at school. Okay, well, again, we'll have a conversation about quiz rounds and things you'd like me to focus questions on, not even just whole rounds, just questions on in the top fan group, because that's where I want to keep that for now. Looking forward to 3 completely different rounds on Sunday. Yes, you will, Tracy, don't worry. Maddie, I don't know. I'll have to check after the show because I can't check my messages during the quiz. But thank you anyway, and I'll acknowledge it as soon as I see it. So don't you worry. If I haven't seen it, I'll be in touch anyway. So yeah, it's the first time I've been to the pub, and they reopened since the lockdown. It's not changed in terms of its layout. The only difference is they've now got a one-way system throughout the pub, and they've got screens to split up certain tables. So glass or perspex kind of screens with the logo of Urban Village Pubs on it, to separate out the tables that are closest to each other. As soon as you arrive at the pub, there is hand sanitizer in the tunnel leading into it. So that means that everybody needs to sanitize their hands before they go in. You need to book a table if you want to come to the quiz. If there is space and you just walk in and hope for the best, you might get a table. But we're obviously running at a slightly less capacity, because they've had to make room for all the screens and the one-way system and everything. So if you want to come along on Thursday, and in general if you want to come along during this kind of time frame, you need to preferably book a table. You can do that by calling them, call the pub and book a table, or there's an app as well that you can download. Table service will be running throughout the evening, as it does all the time now. So you won't ever need to, and you shouldn't go to the bar. If you need anything, you wait for table service, they'll come and serve you, okay? That also means that everything you need for the quiz that we could hand out to you will be handed out to your table directly. You won't need to collect anything from me. You will need to bring your own pen, because that's one less thing that we have to hand out, and therefore one less thing that could transfer anything between the two of us. And then multiple other people sharing pens with multiple different teams is not going to be a good idea. So please bring your own pen, because I mean, we might have some that we can give you, but we're not going to encourage it for obvious reasons that I've just mentioned. Okay. Clothes and shoes, Anna says. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay. There's going to be a maximum of 6 people per team. If you've got any more than that, you'll have to split into 2 teams and book 2 different tables. You can obviously call up and book the 2 tables in one go if you wanted to, but you can only have 6 people in a group at maximum. We will do 3 quiz rounds, and you'll get a £15 drinks voucher for each quiz round that you win. That's 3 instead of 4. We cannot do, I mean, we could risk it, but I'm not going to initially. We can't do a music round, okay? We won't be. Oh, a round on clothes and shoes, Hannah says. All right, remind me in the post I put in the Top Fan group about that maybe tomorrow, mate. Okay. Clothes and shoes. Okay. Fashion in general, right? We can do that. That's fine. Yes. What you need to bring. Okay, so that's that. We're going to do 3 rounds. We're going to do a Trivia Pursuit round, but I will spin the wheel myself. You won't get to come and click to spin the digital wheel I share on the screens in the pub. I'll just do that to pick the first round of the evening. It will be a random Trivia Pursuit round subject like we used to do on Thursday quiz nights. Then we'll do a second round, which will probably be a guest round again. So it'll be a random themed quiz round, similar to that which I've been doing on the shows anyway, and from quizzes before. You'll know that if you're a regular. And then the third round, I don't know which order we'll do these in, but the third round will be some kind of handout round or picture round, which you'll have your own time to do as well. I will share that on the Facebook group as well. So everybody that gets to join online will get to take part in both the quiz rounds, because they can hear me asking the questions and then doing the answers and then doing any repeats just as normal. And then the picture round will be shared on the Facebook page. And it will also be shared in the pub. I think that's going to have to be some kind of handout we might put on your tables earlier in the evening. Or, I don't know. We just got to be really careful when it comes to risk of transferring stuff to people and back to us. But I will give more instructions on the day. When it comes to play your cards right at the end, we won't be doing pontoon playoff at the end, because that means I'll have to give you playing cards to play the game. And then you'll have to give them back to me, and then I'll be passing more to you throughout Pontoon Playoff. So we won't be doing that. We will just be doing knockout style, play your cards right, where every team will get to have a go in the order they scored in the last round we do, just like similar to what we've done before. Every team that gets through or that does the best goes into the next round, and we'll whittle it down until we have 1 team remaining. I will then have a brand new wheel of prizes to put on screen instead of you picking an envelope, because again, transference. That wheel will have all the prizes written on it, so you can see what all the prizes are. I'll then click to spin the wheel on the screens, and whatever prize comes up, that's what you win. There can't be any cash prizes because we can't give you cash. There's no cash payouts. But the prizes will all be a voucher of some description that you'll be able to spend in the pub, all right? And that will be how it is for the foreseeable future. There's a one-way system throughout the pub. That one-way system has to be respected at all times. There can't be any leeway in that. So when you come over to me to play your cards right, or to hand in your quiz round, which you're going to have to do, I'll be wearing gloves. I'll have a screen in front of me. You then have to follow the one-way system round back to your table. You can't turn around and go back the way you came to me, which will be better for some people than others, based on where you sit. But I guess you'll find out the next time you visit the pub what the one-way system's about. I think that's about... Oh, the entry fee is still £1 a person, but you'll pay that via a contactless payment with your card. So make sure you have a card with you or somebody who's willing to pay for you. And then the money will be taken, once you've paid contactlessly, The pub will then take that money out of the till themselves, and then they'll have a cash jackpot stored in the safe locked away so that they can have a cash reward to give somebody again in the future when we go back to doing that. If not, it will go towards paying for other prizes I'm sure that we can give you in the shorter term. So that's that. Let me go through my list again, make sure I've covered everything. If you've got any questions now, ask them in the comments, please, and I'll explain anything else you need me to tell you. So it'll be an 8 o'clock start, not 9, which is normally the Thursday in the pub quiz time. They'll always be 8 o'clock. We can't go on too late, so it's always going to be an 8 o'clock start now for Thursday nights, and eventually when we do Sundays again, but that'll be a while off for now. So it'll be 8 o'clock start. Hand sanitizer on the way in. You need to book a table. 6 people per team. Play your cards right at the end until we have one winner. No pontoon playoff. £15 vouchers to be won per quiz round, and then a prize wheel to choose the prizes. Whoever wins the play your cards right game. One-way system around the pub. Contactless £1 entry payment. Bring your own pen. Respect the one-way system. Table service. No going to the bar. No going to the bar. And it's a one-way system that will also lead you to the toilets if you need it. And then you have to follow that one-way system again back to your table, which will be a different route than the one you took to get there in the first place. Okay, so just please remember that. Yes, Bill, you can just rock up to the pub and have a beer. But be prepared that if the pub is full, then you might be asked to sit outside. And if it's full inside, you can't then move inside if it starts raining outside, because you can't. There's a capacity limit. You can go in and use the toilets if you need to, but you can't stay sat down in the pub if it's already full inside. They'll tell you if it is. If you want to book a table but then sit outside, you can do that by calling up. If you talk to them on the phone, you can't do that when you book a table on the app. But if you want to sit outside anyway, you can call them up and say, can we have a table? And then we want to sit outside. But then again, if the weather turns and you suddenly want to come in, you can't do that unless you talk to the staff first. Then they will find space for you. If they can't find space for you, then you have to stay outside. Again, because they have to. 6 people, a maximum or a requirement to take part. No, 6 people is just a maximum. If you want to come in and there's only 2 of you, then you'll get a table for 2 or one of the smaller tables, and the chairs will be probably moved to be at another table to make it up to 6. But you can't have more than 6 in your team, more than 6 at your table. Any more questions, guys? Do they have a table for 1? Oh, mate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you're just on your own, they'll find room for you. But again, you might, depending on how long you want to be there. There are smaller tables there. There's tables for 2 that can make a table for 1. But yeah, there won't be any room to sit at my side because I'm going to have a screen around me, and there's going to be limited walkway around me anyway, where I normally set up. So unfortunately, I'm stuck there on my own. Otherwise, I'd say you can sit with me, you know that. But yeah, unfortunately not. Maybe there's a team that you could join if you wanted to come down properly, or even to just join a smaller team when you're there. Again, I'm not going to encourage you to go down because I don't want you to think if you suddenly get ill from being at the pub and I told you to come to the quiz physically, I don't want you coming back and blaming me. I don't think anybody would do that anyway. But it's entirely your decision. If you want to come down, I'd love to see you all at a social distance. The pub would love to have you there, of course. And it'll be great to be hosting the quiz again there at the pub. But we have to be real here. This is a test event to begin with. It is a test event. All right. Will they put you behind a screen in a box, Zoltar style? Yes, Ed. Yes. I will literally have a screen in front of my table. Maybe not on the side because I won't be able to get out. And I won't be telling your fortune. But that's very funny. Okay, any more comments before I go, guys? Any more questions? Because I'll be back on Sunday. You can ask me more there. How far ahead in advance can you book? You can book right now. Well, I mean, if you've got the app, or if you want to try and bother them at this time of night, I'm sure they'll be fine. As long as the pub's open, you can book. So you can book as far ahead in advance as you want. Tad says, can teams chat with remote team members on phones? Do you know what? I'm going to say for this test event, let's do it, because we're going to be on separate Wi-Fi systems. Everybody that's in the pub is going to be everybody that's in the pub is going to be on the pub's Wi-Fi, whereas I will be on the staff Wi-Fi, so it won't be affecting my upload speed. I can't guarantee it's going to be good enough quality for them to be able to involve you, but as this is a test event first, this Thursday, let's give it a try. If they want to include you, then they can. I think Back in Black are going to be wanting to sit outside though, so I don't know how well the Wi-Fi will be there, and if anybody's got a good enough contract to get you in on 4G or 5G Wi-Fi. I guess it's 4G for that area. Again, let's try it out. Let's try it out, okay? Because of the situation we're in and the fact you're in Sweden as well, let's see if we can do it. I don't mind us trying it out, and then we'll just make a call, because we won't know if we're going to be back the following Thursday until we see how well this Thursday's goes. So yeah, if you have any more questions between now and then, I think that's about it, and we've got 23 of you left watching, so if you have any more questions between now and Sunday, just message me. I'm really quick and responsive, because I always like to keep up to date with you all and give you the best service I can. You know me by now, that I like to be responsive as I can for all this stuff. So just message me and I'll let you know what I can. I'll be open about it. It'd be great to see you if you can make it, but totally understand if you don't want to. I will broadcast it live anyway. It'll either be via Facebook Live or it will be on Google Meets, and I'll share the link on the main page and then in the top fan group as well, just in case you don't see it. But I'll think about that and make a decision closer to the time. Right, I think that's it, guys. I'm going to go. I've been on here for almost over 2 hours now. Hope you guys stay safe, and keep your messages coming in if you want to, and I will share the pitch around very soon. Like my Twitter and Instagram, all that good stuff. Limor as well. If you're a top fan, get in a top fan group and listen to more of my Limor little quizzes, because there's a whole bunch of those to pass the time if you haven't been listening to those yet. And if you don't know what that is and you're not a top fan, then please do check my Twitter out instead, because all the links will be there as well, at BigQuizNightIn. See you same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers. Good night.